BBN, what's going on, guys? This is the Loyal BBN Fans Show. I'm your boy, Big Mike. We are live here on a Monday night to kick off the football season for 2025 for the Kentucky Wildcats, and I am excited. I am. It's real, like it's real sports now. There's no more talking about it. There's no more imagining what's going on. And we just got football live. That's going to be live. Look, football kicked off this weekend. I think it was pretty exciting. I think everyone was really excited about it. But now this is Kentucky football time. We are just a 6 days away from kickoff against Toledo, and it's a lot of it's a lot of uncertainties, I guess you could say, about the season and what's going on or whatever. But for myself, and look, let me just go ahead and make this disclaimer. We're not going to. First of all, I haven't did a live like this all by myself in a long time. So this is kind of this is I feel like this is my first time doing a live by myself. My co-host Jimmy and BC couldn't make it tonight, but the show's got to go on, and I know those guys still wanted me to turn the camera on and still keep the commitment. Now, we took a week off, to get ready for this or whatever. So, we our commitment to you guys is that we show up every chance we can, that we possibly can. So even though I got to go by myself tonight, hey, it's just kind of what it is, and we just got to just kind of just keep rolling with it as well. So, welcome to Kentucky football season. I'm excited about it. Make sure that when you come on in, you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button too as well. We are trying to make this the best year that we've had here at the Loyal BBN Fans Show. Don't forget on Wednesday nights, Jimmy and Leah will be live for that. Also, Leah and Jimmy will be doing pregame shows for the Toledo game and all throughout the season. So we just look forward to this right here being the best season of the Loyal BBN Fan Show that we've had ever. And we hope that you guys will come along with us. We hope that you guys will help support us, and we hope that you guys will be here every time that the camera turns on for us to have a good, fun show. But once again, this is football season. We're not neglecting basketball. We know that basketball is going to be an exciting year, but we really, truly want to support our football team. And we're wishing for the best. And we're really hoping that these guys can get in and have a great year. That's the hopes here at the Loyal BBN Fan Show. But other than that, man, what is going on? This is exciting time for just fans across the country. And we get a chance to see what our Kentucky Wildcats football team is going to be like come Saturday afternoon. I got to revert back to what BC says. BC says just win the ball game. I don't think it's just winning the ball game. If we was, if we was any other team, a lot of other teams, maybe winning the ball game would be acceptable. But I think in order, because of the circumstances, because of what the fan base is already feeling about the football team, about the fan base is already ready for basketball season, and football hasn't even kicked off yet. I think Kentucky has to go out there and dominate this ball game from beginning to end, in order to say to the fan base, "Look, guys, we can play football." Toledo's projected to win their conference. They may make the Power Five conference if they can win out. Let's start our year off, and let's take this W, and let's be big with it. So thanks everybody who's in the room right now. I appreciate it. I'm trying to see if I can get these comments up. See, that's when you got to do things by yourself. you forget how to do that. So if you guys been watching me long enough, when I do hey, son of a gunner, thank you so much, Jeffrey. Thank you, Chris. Good to see you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Once again, man, we're not neglecting basketball, but we really want to see our football team do well, and we want to support them by giving them the spotlight in times like this, and just kind of, I don't know, how they do in baseball, and they do the hat and the rally call and calling, just whatever. We want to support our football team, and that's what we're going to talk heavily on moving forward. But we will cover anything basketball. If it's recruiting, anything comes up exciting, anything happens in practice that really needs for people to know, we'll put that out or whatever. So, hey man, how's everybody's weekend? I hope everybody's, has had a great Monday back to work and everything. Everything is going well. It feels good. It's odd. It really is odd for me not to be here with my co-host. I know I did it for a long time all by myself, but once you get used to a good team like that, you kind of get used to having those guys around, and it just makes the show that much funner, that much better. But anyway, uh, how are you guys feeling about the football team, man? I mean, I know we're just 6 days away from kickoff. I know it's time to just like everybody just wants to just see games. Everybody's been listening to commentaries and been watching shows all summer long, and now that we finally get football, what are you guys' thoughts about the team, man? Are you guys optimistic? Are you guys excited? Are you guys are just like, let's just hurry up and get the football season? Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the football team so far this year. So I actually did something different this year. I think only because, hey, sweetie, good to see you. Uh, I think I think it's because of me being by myself tonight. Usually I don't do lives in Facebook. But tonight, being by myself and being the first one of the season, I thought I would share it out in two different places on Facebook too. So if you're watching from Facebook, please let me know where you're watching from. It really will mean a lot to me as well too. So let's just get into this. We're talking about a Toledo team that we have to face. Man, I try to fix my glare at my glasses. Let me see if I can knock that down just a little bit more. That ain't what. Maybe that's a little bit better. So, I might have to move that lamp over there. I'm not sure, but I'm excited because being over here and being away from family and everything, for me, it's just kind of like I need something to look forward to. I need something to help move the time along because I mean when there's no sports on the weekends and nothing to look forward to, it's just no family, no sports, no nothing going on. So it's good to have football back in the bluegrass, and I'm really excited. Son of a gunner, put this. Uh, Gonna be a perfect day for football. 76 for a high. I'm hopeful, but not overhyped. I know, son of a gunner. I'm with you on it. It's try not to get too high, try not to be too low. Want to kind of stay right there in the middle. I guess you could say with your poker face on, and you're really hoping for the best. I'm not preparing for the worst in this situation because that would be total. Uh, why would you do that against your own team for? So I'm definitely staying hopeful that this year's team we can come out here and actually really put together a really solid team. Uh, it would really feel good. Paul, how you doing? Howdy. It's good to see you guys as well too. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody who's in right now. My wife is actually watching right now, so thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. Chris, let's see how they play against Ole Miss before we get too hyped up. Well, I mean, here, okay. I mean, I can't argue with this, Chris. You're absolutely right. Let's wait. But I mean, uh, considering the projection of who Toledo should be, Toledo has the overwhelming projection of winning their conference, and maybe depending on how it goes, they could end up in that in the playoffs somehow. But that's just what that's what people are talking about. And for us to come out here and win this ball game, I mean, especially when they first announced that it was 14 points favorites, now it's down to like 7.5, then it could drop even more between now and Saturday for kickoff. So considering just everything that's kind of going on with Kentucky football, uh, you know, I, like I said, BC and some people may say just win the ball game, and it's a W. I give you a W, and right now Kentucky football needs as many W's as they can possibly get. But I think for if we come out against Toledo and we can maybe win by 14, 17 points, if we can win by that, then people are still going to say people will still say, well, let's see how they do against Ole Miss. People are still going to have that narrative. But I tell you what, if you win by 14, 17 points versus 3 points, people still may say that about the Ole Miss football game, but they will be a little bit more, okay, you know what? We didn't just barely beat Toledo. You know what I'm saying? We clearly beat those guys. So, with that being said, let's see what they do against Ole Miss. And so I definitely don't want to look past Ole Miss. I mean, not Ole Miss, but Toledo, because I watched a little video on them today, and it looked like, of course, the quarterback they got coming back is Tucker Gleason. Um, he threw for 2,800 yards last year with 60 and a half percentage of his completions. He doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. So uh, our defense is going to have to be on point. The guy keeps the ball. He protects the football. He's very smart. He's been around for a while in college football. So he's not a young guy. He understands how to play football for Toledo. So our defense is going to have to be on point. I still think at the end of the day, for us, the biggest question is we got the guys up front in the big blue wall. And I don't even know I know the big blue wall is what we do, but sometimes I wonder, should we not call them the big blue wall until they prove themselves that they have earned the right to be called a big blue wall? Because for me, it's all about protecting that quarterback. And I hope that of course we all know. I don't. People debate it. People talk about it. People say that Cutter Bowles should get the start. I don't think, me personally, I don't think that um, I don't think that Calzada came in to not start. I think they paid him the money to come in here to be the starter quarterback, and I think doesn't matter if it's a bad first half or whatever. I think when the game starts, he will finish the game too as well. And then if it's that bad, maybe you go back and you examine. But once again, I think his play, his play. My thing is this: when it comes to Calzada, if the offensive line gives you the opportunity to throw the football, if they're protecting you and then you don't get it done, then it's on you, Calzada. You know what I'm saying? It's on you to look in the mirror and ask yourself how you gonna fix this problem, because you know we've been saying for the past few years we need a line, we need a line, we need an offensive line. And now that we maybe supposedly got a good offensive line, if they do their job, then will Calzada do his job and be able to get the ball down the field? He's a big guy. Um, when you look at him, you say, okay, you know what? He's not going to be somebody that you're going to be able to tackle. You're gonna have to wrap him up and bring him down. So we hope that we can use that to our advantage with the addition of the offensive line doing their job. And let's see if we can get the ball down the field to our receivers and move and keep the chains. I've said this and I live by this every single day. You cannot, and I repeat, um, you cannot keep going three and out. You cannot just keep asking the defense to get on the field and help you guys, because you guys can't do anything on offense. The offense has got to help the defense out. I feel like if there's one thing about Kentucky is we don't win a lot of football games. I mean, we don't lose a lot of football games because our defense is not all that great. We lose a lot of football games is because at the end of the game we are completely exhausted on the defensive side of the football because our offense is not giving our defense a chance to rest and giving them something to really go out there and play inspired for. Um, hey, and welcome from Columbus, Ohio. I appreciate you joining in. Thank you so much. It's always good, and I've been saying it since I've been doing show. It's always good when you see ladies in the chat, so you can hear their, what I'm saying, so you can hear their opinions, and that's why I brought Leah on with us is because Leah knows her sports, and she's passionate. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, she's passionate about her Kentucky Wildcats, and a lot of people love her outtakes as far as her looks, as far as the go. So, Ann, thank you so much for joining Maxie. I appreciate you so much. I really do. Thank you so much. Call this starter for. Hey, Chris, it ain't. I'm it, Chris. It has to be Casada. I just don't think they brought him in uh, just to sit on the bench. I mean, that's just my thoughts. I could be wrong, and I don't know if they announced it or not. But if you call me, I mean, if you ask me, I just think that Calzada gets to start. It's a bad omen for Stoops' 13 seasons and a quarterback with a name that starts with. You're right about that, man. I never thought about that until now. Otis, how you doing? Call this starter. Otis, hey, it's good to see you as well too. Once again, I'm by myself tonight. My other co-host, they had something going on tonight for Monday night or whatever. But we keeping the show going. It does feel odd, even though I've been doing the show by myself for years. I've gotten used to having those guys here with me because those guys are great and they know how much I appreciate them. That's for sure. But we have to score points because we need to save the defense for the fourth. Chris, I absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Now here's the thing about if you're going to go like if you get in the ball game, if the offense is in the ball game and then they're able to score within one or two plays, and then the defense has got to get out there, that's a different scenario. It ain't, that takes a different kind of pressure because you still got the timeout, you still got the kickoff, and then you got another timeout, TV timeout. So these guys, they're going to get that few extra minutes of rest. It ain't like just going three and out and set down. Okay, back on the field, guys. We got to go back out. It's a different mindset when you score a touchdown. It gives that defense that much energy. So when they get on the field, these guys are able to. Okay, you know what? Our offense. So now we want to match our offense energy by getting these guys back up. If our offense is hot, then our defense looks at it like this: hey man, let's go out here, let's get a three and out, let's get our offense back on the field. They're hot, they got the hot hand, so let's get them back on the field. Let's don't leave them on there and let them cool off. Let's let these guys get back on the field and let's continue to run up the points. And you always hear about don't run up the score. I think if there's a chance for us to run up the score on Toledo, I say we run the score up. I mean, we've gotta put that positive vibe out there is that we can put points up because I think that's what everybody and I think that's what Chris just was talking about. We gotta let people know that we can. And yes, it's Toledo, so I get it. I get it. It's not an SEC team. It's a lower tier team. I get it. But we got to show people. We got to show the fan base. We got to show the nation that Kentucky has what it takes to put up some efficient numbers game in and game out, and they have to start early. We don't have the luxury of just barely getting by a Toledo because we're trying to keep people in with high energy of trying to say this Kentucky team might not be as bad as people may think they are. But I know that the real test is going to come against Ole Miss at home. I get that. I understand that. I'm not forgetting that. But I think the Cats have got to capture the hearts and minds of the fan base by bringing 60,000 folks who's been waiting for football for so long. That when they come in the stadium, they want to come to a party. I know blowouts sometimes can be boring, but this ain't one of those games that it will be boring if we can blow teams out. That's for sure. Angela, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It really was from Irvington, Kentucky. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Thank you once again. My co-hosts are not here tonight. They'll be back. Also, don't forget Wednesday night as well. Jimmy and Leah will be live as well too. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. Second half, the score testing. We can't wait into this. We can't for real. Chris, you on wait, Chris, we on the same page, brother. We are, I believe, our football team can surprise a lot of teams this year. Oh, let me put this up. Uh, yeah, so if you put some good comments up, I'm definitely gonna throw up your comments. I think that's my way of saying thank you for being, for watching the show or whatever. So I believe our football team can surprise a lot of I went too fast. Can surprise a lot. Always rooting for my Wildcats football and basketball. I got you, Otis, and Otis is one of the guys. He's one of the guys that's always whenever the camera goes on, he's always here to do so. Let me throw up this from Angela as well too, watching from Irvington, Kentucky. I really enjoy your show. Thank you so much. Uh, yes, sir. And right here, uh, they have to beat Toledo. I won't hear the end of it. I'm a UK fan since the '70s. In this Buckeye country, I bleed blue, win or lose. Yeah. Oh yeah. You. Oh yeah. Miss Angela. I'm sorry, Miss Ann. You're actually in Ohio. Oh yeah. You need this win because you won't hear the end of it if Toledo. Uh, so I don't really follow like recruiting very closely. Jimmy and Leah do, but I knew it, but I got reminded is that Chip Tatum is actually on Toledo. I don't know if he may be starting. I know they got another running back on the team called what's his name? I had his name down right here somewhere. There's a running back, Connor. His first name is Connor. Um, I mean, he was okay last year. He only had one touchdown. Look, I mean, we're an SEC football team, and we got to win this ball game. I just like if you, like this is, there's been years where okay, you know what, you lose the ball game. Oh, okay, we can bounce back. I think with the way that the schedule is set up this year and how hard it is, this is the game. Like this is a game when people say, "Oh, well, we can't lose this game." No, like we really, really can't lose this football game. And I think the way that we play it in the style, I think that says a lot as well too. Uh, she said, "Got that right." Yeah, I know, right? So, Brandon, thank you so much. But live in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Brandon, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me from Lexington, Kentucky, uh, as well. I'm just, man, look, people, I'm just excited that football is here. I really am excited that football is here. It's been a long summer. The summers are long with no sports, you know what I'm saying? And we sit around and we talk about everything as much as we can. But I like when the season comes because it just gives you that much more to talk about and that much more excitement to actually have it. I mean, look, no more Saturdays without football. Western Kentucky got a win. I'm going to give a shout out to those guys too, up in Bowling Green, Kentucky, by close to my mom's house. Absolutely, the Big Diddle. Uh, Up there, those guys are really turning around their program too as well. Those guys are really, really doing well. So I'm really happy to see those guys get it. For you guys that haven't been watching along, my boss here in Saudi Arabia is he's from Louisville, and we had the Saudi guy in the shop yesterday. We had a conversation. He was like, the Saudi guy was like, so, he knows I'm a Kentucky fan, and he knows because he's been working with the boss for a while now. So one of the guys looked at me yesterday and threw an L's up, and I was like, whoa, what's that about? Like I thought we was friends. And so we had a big discussion yesterday at work about the Louisville and the Kentucky rivalry and all that kind of stuff. So, he of course he threw up that picture of the two football players, and I was like, no comments, please. I didn't want no I didn't want that smoke. Hey Carl, how you doing? I hope you're healing well with your knee, man. Hope rehab is going good. See how Louisville does against EKU. Exactly. Let's see what Louisville is actually made of. I mean, that would be awesome for EKU to find a way to beat Louisville. Man, that would just Louisville would never hear the end of it for sure. Uh, Trying to make sure. Son of a gun, and we need to play it clean as in no offsides, no holding, and efficient special teams. All that needs to be on point. We need to start out. So I asked a question, and I'm not sure if you guys seen the video, the little short video. I think if I'm correct, and somebody can correct me, I think we had a lot. I don't want to throw out a number because I don't want to be tremendously wrong, but we had a lot of transfers to come in this year. With that being said, because of that, do we get is there a grace period of like, okay, we're gonna give the team because they got so many guys come in, so many new pieces. Is that saying that we're gonna give these guys 2 to 3 games to before they start gelling? Or is it a lot of these guys have been playing college football for a while? They need to get in and get with it from day one. What are you guys' thoughts on that as far as is there a grace period to give these guys enough chance to gel and start playing cohesively as a team against other opponents? Uh, Go Big Blue. Thank you so much, Ann. I appreciate it. It would be nice. I'm glad football is here too. And soon, yeah, basketball. Basketball's right around the corner, man. It is because look, August is basically over, and once we step into once we step into October, I'm sorry, September, then we can say basketball really starts next month in October. That's going to be a good feeling too, as well. That's when things get kicked off for sure. But I look for our Wildcats to go out, and one thing that a lot of people is going to be paying attention to is people's going to be watching to see how Stoops handles the offensive coordinator. Now, is this a game that maybe you want to open up your playbook completely to be able to to show Ole Miss? Probably not. We hope it doesn't come down to a situation where we got to start calling plays that maybe we shouldn't be using against Toledo. But my thing is, what does it look like this year for the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator to be able to go out and be the coach, be their, what I'm saying, be that coach that they was hired to be here at Kentucky. I think more so it comes down to the offensive coordinator and how much leadway, looks, it's I don't want to say Mark Stoops' job is on the line only because we owe him too much money. So they're not going to fire him because they're going to owe him too much money and they're going to owe him for the buyout. So I don't. I'm not willing to say. I'm not ready to say that that his job is on the line. I think he's on the hot seat. I do. But maybe this right here will be the year that Coach Stoops says, "I'm going to just trust these guys and let these guys." I mean, you got Cohen, who's now head coach in the NFL. The guy was good at his job. Stoops, I don't know if Stoops trusted him enough or not out there on the field. Stoops wanted too much hands in it. I hope Stoops steps back and allow these guys to do their job. And if so, what does Bush Hamden look like now that he has pieces around him, considering the pieces that we lost last year at the transfer portal or just out of eligibility? He has some good pieces around him that he can utilize. Can he do his job correctly because Coach Stoops allows him to go out there and do it? To me, that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to be watching is seeing, does he have free reign to go out there and do his job and not be restricted? Kevin, good to see you again. I think that Kentucky will win 7 football games this year. Seven football games will be good. Now I have to ask you, Carl, is that 7 regular season games or is that 7 with a bowl win? Um, because if not, then I just want to see us make it to the bowl game. But eventually, 6-6 just won't do, and especially with next year getting into 9 SEC games for the regular. We got to take advantage of this year and we got to make the best of it. Because if we don't, man, it doesn't get any easier for Kentucky football. So I think every opportunity that we have to build confidence, and when you go out and yes, it's a Toledo, but even if you can go out and beat Toledo by 14, 17 points, that's still a big confidence booster in the first game of the year. See, the thing that they can't do, and I can't remember who mentioned it earlier, is that we can't wait into the second half to score a touchdown. Like, we got to go strong from the time that we kick the ball off into the ball game is over. A lot of things, a lot of people comments and opinions are really riding on. I think the first 3 or 4 possessions of the football game is who are we and what do we look like? Because if we can't come out and move the ball against Toledo, who doesn't have a great defense, they're not bad, but for their conference, they're pretty solid. But if we can't move the football, if we can't put meaningful points on the board, not just field goals, but if we can't get the ball in the end zone through a touchdown, it does raise some questions, and it rains. It calls for a certain amount of concerns that we can't even put the football in the end zone against Toledo. And this is, if you know me, I don't try to disrespect any team out there, no matter what league you're in or whatever. I try to show respect because these guys, I couldn't do it. So these guys playing at Toledo, they was able to do something that I wasn't do out of high school. They can still play D1 football. The point is, when you're in the SEC and you Kentucky, when you out recruit these guys, you just expect to be able to go out there and just play bully ball at times and just impose your will on this opponent like Toledo. And once again, Toledo's probably, if Toledo wins, I mean, if they lose by 17 points, they can still go out and win their conference next year. It's just one game for those guys. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of just saying if we was to lose, that's just one game. We'll get it back. We're fighting for every win that we're going to possibly get. So when you look at a team like Toledo, got to take advantage and you got to win the season opener. And then we got to get ready mentally for the Ole Miss game because that game, those guys are coming in here and they are definitely, if it's one game they got circled, it's that ball game. So we get them at home this year and hopefully we can get that win. But I think it all comes down to one ball game at a time. Can we get this win and can we play in a fashion that builds confidence for not only the players but the fan base as well to really say, okay, let's get behind these guys. They look really good out there today. They cut down on the penalties, on the mistakes. We see Mark Stoops is going to allow his coordinators to do their jobs. Let's just see what Kentucky can do if all the chips fall into right place. And I think that's the big thing right there. We have to have got to have faith in the team, absolutely. And just like I said, hey Kevin, thank you. We absolutely got to have faith in the team, and I think that's why I'm so excited about the football year. I'm hoping for the best. I don't know necessarily want to say that I'm prepping for the worst. I just want to say that one game at a time, and just hoping that our Wildcats can find a way to pull it together, to put together a successful year, starting with game number one against Toledo. A win is a win, but unfortunately, Kentucky doesn't have that luxury of just winning by 3 points. I just don't. I think the fan base would just already just kind of just walk away if we can only beat Toledo by 3 points. And that's all due respect to Toledo as well too. We shouldn't be having a problem beating Toledo. That should be a given. Not even getting ahead of myself with the schedules, but one thing about Kentucky football this year is it's sad that most people have already written a loss against Vandy. That's the storyline of Kentucky football. And that's why winning this game against Toledo in such a fashion, I think that's why it's so important, because you shouldn't be having that narrative. No disrespect to Vandy, but you shouldn't have that narrative is that most of the nation is already penciled in Vandy to beat Kentucky. It just shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. At worst, it should be a toss up. It shouldn't just be go ahead and pencil that in. Vandy's a much better team than Kentucky. They're going to beat. That hurts me a lot. So, hey, Pamela, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Go Big Blues always. Thank you so much for joining. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. If you're watching from Facebook, please let me. Yeah, if you're watching from Facebook, I hope that you guys will consider going over to YouTube and hitting that subscribe button. It's free. I don't want any money from you. All you gotta do is hit subscribe, and it will mean a lot to me if you're watching Facebook. It really, really would mean a lot for me as well if you could do that. That's a good thing. No pressure at all. Yeah, you know what, True Kentucky? I guess so. I guess if you look at it from that aspect of it, you can say that's a good thing. No pressure at all. It's no pressure, but it's really good when the fan base can really, really be around you, and it really helps to motivate the players too as well when you know that you got your fan base behind you, and what this says is that the fans, the media, and nobody believes in Kentucky. Now, I'm going to go with you, Truth to Kentucky. You got it right. You got a lot, and that's the same thing it is about playing the Georgias and those Texas. You go out there and you play with no pressure. If that's a game that you're not supposed to win anyway, then you can go out there. You could just play free. And if you lose, then that's just well, we knew that anyway. That's not a big secret. My thing is just it's all about getting you got to get that respect, and how you get that respect is not being barely able to beat Toledo. And if you can dominate Toledo from start to finish and not wait to the end of the third quarter, the fourth quarter, just to take a commanding lead if it takes you that long to do it, I mean, yeah, you did it, but it's gonna raise a lot of eyebrows. Like what took you so long? You know what I'm saying? What took you so long to pull away from Toledo? What took you so long to dominate? What took you so long for your SEC line to dominate their? I think they're in a MAC to dominate a MAC defensive line. It's those kind of scenarios that when you're trying to pull people in and when you're trying to pull the fan base in to get all the support that you can, these are the kind of situations where I believe, and it's just my opinion, and I love you guys' opinion. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. It's all about it's all about the perceptions of who Kentucky football could possibly be this year, and that's when you get it. Then that's when you get the crowd behind you. The the team can feel that energy, and they can go out there and they can play it hopefully at a high level going into the Ole Miss game. And once again, you win the ball game, you go in the, if you win the ball game by a field goal, you go in the ball game and you celebrate a victory. But in the back of your mind, you saying to yourself, "Dude, we got Ole Miss next. How are we going to beat Ole Miss if we just beat Toledo by 3 points?" I think beating Toledo by 14 or 17 points, at least, to me, you go into the locker room. All right, we all right. That was our first game playing collectively as a team against somebody else. We did all right. You know what I'm saying? We got something that we can build off of, and the excitement is just a little bit different than, well, hey guys, you got the win. No, we need now 5 more wins, and we can go to the bowl. It's a mindset game of the mentality of I can go now. We beat this team who's projected to maybe possibly be in the playoffs. We just beat this team by 14, 17 points. Now let's go see if we can build off of this, and let's see if we can get this win against Ole Miss. So it makes a big difference. But I definitely uh, um, but I definitely see what you're talking about. This has been the quietest talking season we've ever had. Let's just put that. I've said that before. This is definitely one of those seasons where this is definitely one of those seasons where you haven't heard a whole lot of talk about a whole lot. And for me, I like that because every year it's been a lot of talk. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then we come out and then we fall on our face. Sometimes you got to just get in there. You got to just work out. You got to just get down. You got to grind with the guys around you, and then you got to be ready for the season and just go in and then let your play, let your development do all the talking. And I hope that's how the season is going to be this year. Is we didn't do a lot of talking in the off season, but now we're ready to get on the field, and now we're ready to put everything that we had built together. We're ready to put that together and win some ball games. Um, yeah, it is. It's going to be hard. I agree with you too on this too. Um, Jay and Papa said it's going to be hard watching Dane Key play this year for the Cornhuskers. Yeah, I probably won't be watching a lot of Nebraska games as well. So just to see him out there playing, the guy that got big too as well. I've seen him as well too. Ice man, it's good to see you, man. Thank you so much. Everything is just waiting for hoops time. Yeah, I know a lot of people are, and then they give up their best. Yep. It's just a matter of going out there. Lord Witho, I see you. I don't want to ignore you. I see you in the room too as well. Let's see if anybody else I missed right fast. Jay, thank you so much. I threw up your comment. Iceman, it's good to see you. They may be the sleeper team. Kevin, are you talking about Kentucky may be the sleeper team or somebody else? I'm just curious. Can you let me know? I think you're talking about Kentucky, but I don't want to assume that automatically that's who you're talking about. But I think that's who you're talking about. It's Kentucky. Like I said, it could be a sleeper team. You know, it's just a matter of those guys. When it comes down to it, it's just how bad do those guys in the locker room? We're fans, and while we want our Wildcats to be great, if those guys inside the locker room don't mentally have it together, then we can want the Cats to be good all day long. Those guys in the locker room, they have got to want it. I think one of the big things right now that, even though I think someone mentioned it earlier, that I'm not sure who it was. So if you mention it, please let me know. Someone mentioned, I think it was maybe Chris or Otis. I can't remember. So my apologies for that. I think one thing about it is that uh, apparently Stoops has named his starting quarterback. It's not out. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it has. I just woke up. It's guys, it's like 1:43 a.m. here, so I haven't had a chance to see if that name has been released. But Calzada and Cutter Bull, a lot of people seem to want Cutter to start. I just don't. For me personally, even though Cutter had a good offseason and he's grown, I still just really strongly believe that they didn't bring Calzada in here just to be a backup quarterback. I mean, you know, you don't pay a player that kind of money just to come in and to be a back. Now, I think he might have a short lease on him, depending on how the year is going early off. You got to give him at least 3 games just to see if he can get it together. If not, then yeah, then you start considering. Um, but they said that they're going to use both quarterbacks. They say that a lot too. So everything now is just let's just see how they do once they get on the field, for sure. Stoops, Ice man. If Stoops leaves this year, I don't think Stoops is going to unless if Stoops knows that for them to get rid of him, that they got to buy him out, and that's a lot of money to buy him out. So I don't necessarily seeing Stoops leave and leaving that money on the table. The same situation that happened with the other coach who ended up forfeiting his money because of the things he did. I don't know if Stoops is will do that or not. So I mean, if they're going to get rid of Stoops, they're going to have to pay him. So right now, I mean, Stoops has a great opportunity. I mean, he's in a great situation, is because he can go out here and have a true 3 or 9 year and still keep his job, or a 3 or 9 year and make $30+ million just to walk away. So Stoops has a great contract. So Stoops is going to win regardless, because he'll get fired, and if he gets fired, then he gotta get paid. So for him, let's just play football. But I think this means enough to Coach Stoops, that he's going to go out here and that he's going to have a. I hope he goes out here and has a great year this year, and come off the hot seat, and we can continue to build something on what's been going. He might just if he if he walks away, without being fired or whatever, to take another job. And please, somebody correct me. Somebody correct me too. They would owe him $30+ million if they fire him. Now, if he walks away, I don't think he gets anything. So, as a coach, why would you walk away and you're gonna leave $30 million on the table? I don't think that. But if they fire him, then they got to pay him a lot of money. So that's why I think he's in a great situation, is where he controls his destiny of what he does next year, because he's gonna get paid if he gets fired. Joker Phillips is still Hey Calla, Joker Phillips is still available. You know what? I wonder where Joker's coaching at this year. I wonder what program he's with. Um, is he out west somewhere? I'm not even sure as well. Calzada be a starter. Mark Stoops announced it. Okay. So it actually got announced that Calzada is going to be the starter, and I don't think that's. I don't. Hey, thanks, Otis. I appreciate that update. Thank you so much. And if somebody else mentioned it, let's see. Let's see. Thanks, Otis. Calzada to be the starter. Mark Stoops announced it in an interview. Appreciate that. That up to date. Basketball money to work with. Basketball means more. That's why, and it's always been that way ever since Rupp and Bird Bryant had attended. Oh, absolutely. It's Iceman. You're absolutely right. I mean, Kentucky is a basketball school through and through. But and I don't think anybody would ever argue with that as well too. But when the football team is good, then it makes waiting for basketball a tad bit easier, I should say, than just like, oh man, we got a football team that ain't no good. Can basketball season starts? I mean, when football is good, it really makes things a lot more interesting around the program, around Kentucky athletics. It's just like one big, let's just have a party all through Kentucky football and all through Kentucky basketball. We're just having a good time. And then if Kentucky football is decent, then basketball overlaps football. So now you got a good football team, a decent football team. You got a good basketball team, and now just we get especially after coming off a long summer with no sports, and then you get two programs, your football and your basketball, that are both good. I just think that's just to me, that's just good. It works out for me when both programs can be strong. But I definitely that's what. Uh, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, Ice Man. Thank you, and it's good to see you too, man. Thank you so much. Uh, 44 million buyout. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of thanks, Lord Winthrop. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. And I'm not sure how many people can quit their jobs just to get paid millions and millions of dollars. If I can quit my job and get that, boy, I would have quit 3 years ago. I'm like, man, I'm out of here. I like to see us build, but I don't think that it's that big of a priority. I would, I want to build. For me, I don't do a whole lot of talking about the college playoffs when it comes to Kentucky football, but just getting back to a bowl game that is not just, well, they made it to the bowl game, but we're gonna just send them to the other part of the we're gonna just send them to the North Pole to play in the game, and we're gonna put them in the cold weather. I think playing in a significant bowl game, for me, being that Kentucky is a basketball school, uh, if they had a chance to play in a big notable bowl game outside of the playoffs, to me, I won't have any issues with that. The question is, who would replace Stoops? See, people, with the talk of Gruden and like stuff like that, people kind of throwing his name out there a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't know who. I'm not sure who would replace Stoops. Would it be Gruden? I don't know. That's just one of those rumors or whatever. But I don't know who they would have in place. I don't know who they can get to come to Kentucky to coach. It's a great football school to coach at because the expectation is if you could just be above average, then you got to. I'm just saying you got a good year. Hard to win football games in the SEC. Very hard to win games in the SEC, and that's why I went in against Toledo in a fashion that can build confidence. Look, if we can let me dream a little bit, okay? If we can beat when we beat Toledo, but if we can beat Toledo by 14, 17 points, and if we can bring Ole Miss in and find a way to beat. Now, Ole Miss is one of those games where you can win by 3 points and you good. That's a different scenario. You beat Ole Miss by 3 points. We beat Ole Miss. You beat Toledo by 3 points. Whatever. So it's different scenarios. Is means different things. Winning by three against two different teams to have very two different meanings. It's an SEC team. You win by three, good. You win an SEC game. You beat Ole Miss at home. You did good. Beating Toledo out of conference, lower conference by 3 points. The fan base is like, see, I told you. The, the nation says, see, I told you. It's Kentucky football. Why would we get our hopes up to expect anything more? So that's why I think it's so critical for these guys to go out here and really, really take it to Toledo and get a meaningful um, lead or a meaningful win by more than 3 points. What are we talking about? Bama is ponying up with basketball. We are a quarterback. We have a quarterback next year, Michael Pentoski, can throw the football. I watched a video of him throwing a baseball. Ooh. But then, if he's coming in next year, you got Cutter Bull, who's pretty much saying, all I got to do is just hold on for one more year, and I can be the starter of Kentucky. Is that guy gonna come in and start over Cutter? I guess that's maybe SEC. We strong in hoops last year. SEC was good last year in basketball. I'm with you, Iceman. Last year, SEC was good, and I hope we can find a way to duplicate some of that this year. I know some of the star powers of the individual players have gone on and left the SEC and gone on to bigger and better things, but I hope that the SEC can find a way to a little bit duplicate of how last year went. It was really good. We ain't Bama and ain't us either, but they do have a good athletic department. Yeah, and I would love to see our athletic department be just as good too as well. And that's why I said when the football program can be good, then you got football good, you got basketball good, women basketball, they're gonna be good. When you got all of that, volleyball gonna be good, baseball team should be decent. We got all of that clicking. I say it's a fun athletic season for the Kentucky Wildcats, and that's to me that's kind of what I am. Sorry about that, guys. I'm running off really low number of hours of sleep, so and I'll be up until tomorrow afternoon or today afternoon or whatever. So sorry about the yawning. My apologies for that. I just look forward to some football. I just look. I hope our guys go out there, and I hope that they spent the off season getting ready for what was going to be a very hard, difficult year. And I hope at the end of the day that we are able to go out there and prove some people wrong, but not just prove people wrong, but prove to themselves that they have the ability to play some good, smart football and win some games that maybe people says we have no business winning. And we can start doing that by beating Ole Miss in game number 2 after we take care of game number 1. SEC is best. Absolute Mitch is upgrading the football field. Wonder what he would be upgraded. Oh, that's going to be interesting to see. We're gonna see what he actually puts that money into, and and we got to spend the money in NIL to go get some players. I think as long as Kentucky continues to year after year after year to being out recruited, I mean we're gonna have to go out and find a way to get some players. We just are, and now with the money and stuff like that, you're gonna have to go show some outstanding young man the money and see if you can lure him to Kentucky and get him to buy in. Is that he can be a star here at Kentucky, not just with the money, but his legacy. He can come to Kentucky and make a legacy for himself as well too. Because if the guy is that good, then he's gonna make enough money past Kentucky to be able to say, okay, I made my money, but what kind of legacy will you have, and how will people view you when your time in college football is over? Will you be one of those guys that people are talking about 10 years from now and says, man, he was really good, or Benny Snell, or people like that? Will you be able to say that? We just need to support our boys. We got one of the biggest fan bases in the country, but with that comes a lot of criticism. It comes a lot of criticism. I throw that up as well too. We just support them, and I think that's my mindset of the football team is that like there's a lot of outside noise that's already criticizing our football team. So I'm just one small part of the piece of the BBN, and if I could just give my support from this show, any way that I possibly can, then I just choose to just support and just believe that anything is possible when the ball rolls a certain way. Basketball, what's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining in. It really means a lot to me. Thank you as well too. So I just think that we just got to come out here and we just got to play football, and we got to leave everything else off the field and just focus on winning football games and taking this Toledo team. And I'm sure these guys are taking this Toledo team very serious. But I hope we amp up and we pony up and we get ready to go out here to beat these guys by 14 and 17 points. At least you do that, I'm good. We need to go to Alabama to get guys in Georgia. I mean, we got one receiver coming in from Bama. I can't recall his name. He transferred in from. He was a wide receiver. He transferred into Alabama. So if he was good enough to get a full ride scholarship to Alabama, then I think he's good enough to play here at Kentucky. So let's see what these guys come in here and do. Macklin, let's see these guys if these guys can really get some. If they can really produce and want to win here at Kentucky and want to make a name for themselves. If they do that, I am 100% sure that we can be successful this year. It's a psychological. It can help you grow if you use it the right way. That's the whole thing. What do you think of UK's starting cornerback? Well, now that he is the starter quarterback, I don't think this question right here is for basketball, and you guys can chime in too as well. A lot of people are just like basically like, look, he's better. He's better than Cutter. Than Cutter Ball. He's more seasoned. He's more experienced, and it's his job to lose. It's his job to go out there and not play. I support him. The thing about him, if the big blue wall is giving him the time to execute with the football and to go through his progressions and look downfield or the short pass out or whatever. But if Calzada is not able to put the ball in the receiver's hands, but the receivers got to catch the ball too. We gotta hold on to more balls than we drop. And I think that just makes sense. I don't think it takes a genius for people to understand that. We got to have the ball in our hands so we can move the chains. And one thing that we got to do this year, when we get first down, we got to stay ahead of the chains. We cannot afford to go second and 12, second and 13 because we take a sack. Those are the kind of things that Kentucky doesn't have the luxury of being able to do. We have got to stay ahead of the chains, and we got to give ourselves. We got if it's going to be third, we got to put ourselves in a third and short situation so it's more manageable for us to get that and keep the defense off the field, keep the offense on the field, and keep their offense. Because if they can't score, they can't beat us. So if they're not on the field to run offense, then we got to, so we already got a better chance. So I hope that Kentucky goes out there and just does it. I think it's Todd Lawson that came over from Alabama, right? I think that's his name, the wide receiver. If Calzada doesn't do what he's supposed to do, then Cutter steps in. But the question for Otis, but the question for this is though, what what does that time frame look like? Is that a situation where if Calzada throws two interceptions in the first half, does that mean that you already automatically just throw in Cutter, or do you give Calzada 2 3 games to really get into the system and really get used to playing with the guys around him for at least 2 or 3 games? Do you give him that much leeway, or do you say you throw 2 interceptions and you out? See, I think everybody's perceptions of Cutter, I mean not Cutter, but Calzada not doing a great job. Then you pull him, but what is that? But what is that time frame that you give him and you allocate him to says you got 3 games to see what you can do. So there's no pressure. This next week you're still starting, and the week after that there's no pressure. You're not looking over your shoulders, but just say that you have a timeline for us to be able to evaluate you and seeing if you are indeed our QB1. If not, then we got to go in a different direction. So he has to know that he's not going out there tomorrow and going to get fired if he throw 2 interceptions in the first half. He got to know that he's going to have a chance to redeem himself, and he's going to be able to pick things up and get better and progress and do a whole lot more. I think you're so right. We just gotta see what that lease is. We're asking Coach Stoops to take the lease off the offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, and let them do their job. More so the offensive coordinator, more so than anything, we got to be able to say, okay, there's no strings attached. All you got to do is go ahead to perform. You on a 3 game probation period. If after 3 games you're still leading us, it's still your job. If not, we got to think about the team and the rest of the year. Then we can start looking at Cutter to see, what I'm saying, to see how it goes. And I think that's just any team out there that has a good backup quarterback situation where where the backup quarterback is just waiting to get in the ball game to show people what he can do. I really believe that too as well. So I think you're so right. So let's see what our football team can do. Don't forget, guys, on Monday nights. I'm sorry, on Wednesday, well, Monday nights at 6 Eastern, like you guys are tonight. On Wednesday nights at 7 Eastern with Jimmy and Leah. Those guys, they will be talking football. But if they have any recruiting information, anything like that, they will also talk about Kentucky basketball too as well. Once again, we're not neglecting Kentucky basketball. That is our heart. We understand that Kentucky is a basketball school, but we're here at the Loyal BBN Fans Show. We just want to support our football team, and we do that by trying to keep their name in the news and try to and try to keep them relevant, so these guys can know that we're out here and we're rooting for them and we're cheering for them. I can see UK getting a good win this year. I want to see UK get about two good wins this year. I mean, we can start the year off with Ole Miss if we can find a way to beat Ole Miss at home, and hopefully we can beat Vandy, beat see if see if we can beat Florida this year at home, because we get Florida. I'm so sorry, guys. Uh, uh, I lose a lot of sleep every week. I lose a lot of sleep. Um, so the weekends, I just sleep all weekends just to make up, and then I start back home. But it's the forgot what I was saying. Um, I mean, dude, I don't think it's far fetched to think that Kentucky can find a way to win 7 games this year. I mean, I for a lot of teams in the nation, 7 games. That's it. Man, we suck. Can we get 7 games this year? And I think, as basketball just says, we got to get upset. Hopefully, two upsets this year that we can win ball games. And so I hope that we take advantage of it. And we got to go down to Nashville and get this win. If you know me, I know a guy by the name of Vandy Chris. I do not want to lose to him this year again, because he is just already writing off Kentucky football. Kentucky football is garbage. I don't want to have to talk to him and Vandy beats us. So please, Cats, 1 game at a time. But I got that. It's sad. It's a sad time for me in my life when I got the Vandy game canceled, when I got it circled on my calendar. You should have Kentucky fans shouldn't have Vandy circled on the calendar. This it's a different time frame right now. That's for sure. If we go 8-4, if we go 8-4, we real happy. So that would be to Texas, Georgia. Um, we need to get that win against Louisville too. We got to beat Louisville this year. I can't go to work if we don't. That's for sure. I want 9. I want to win 9. So look, right now nobody's giving us a chance to win between 3.8 games and 4.5 games. So no one's giving us a chance to go to the bowl game. So right now we just got to get out there, man, and just win some football games and just make some upsets and just show the nation that maybe Kentucky is not as bad as everybody thought we was, and we got to go win some ball game. I would love to see. I'll see the 9 games. That would be real good. If any UK football player sees this, play with a nasty steak, because everyone is saying you're gonna be bad. So, hey, that's it. If any football player sees this, just go out there, man, and just play for each other, and just play motivated, and just stay true to yourself, and we can get this done as well too. So once again, Wednesday night, guys, don't forget to join in for Leah and Jimmy here. If you're on Facebook, watching from Facebook, I appreciate you watching from Facebook. Wednesday night show will only be from YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please go over, subscribe to YouTube, and they will be live on Wednesday nights. And next Monday night, we will have a regular show with my co-host, and we will only be on YouTube as well. So please, if you're able to, please go on YouTube. And the only difference is we just won't be on Facebook. We do the same video, the same content, the same excitement, the same joy. We still cheer for Kentucky. Then we just do it over on YouTube. So if you guys don't mind, if you haven't already, please go subscribe. Uh, Not thank you, Otis. No, absolutely would never underestimate Toledo. I'm just saying, when it comes to Toledo, Toledo's projected to win their conference outright. You know what I'm saying? The hands down. The thing with Toledo, before I get out of here, basketball is that we want to beat Toledo, but we don't want to just beat Toledo by a field goal. Like, we got to go out there and we got to set the stage for the kind of year that we want. And um, you can't just go in the locker room after the ball game and say, "Yeah, we beat Toledo by 3 points. Yeah, we won. Yeah, you won the ball game and you got a W. That's great. That's the foremost thing. But what kind of confidence do you have as a fan base? And then you start having a little bickering. Well, if I would have been in there, I would have did better than this. Or if I was in here, I would have did. That's when you start starting a lot of strife within the program because now everybody else thinks that they can do better against Toledo than the guy in front of them. So the way to kind of calm that down and bring the confidence level going into the Ole Miss game is that you beat oh, is that you beat Toledo by double digits. So that confidence riding into it, cool. Okay, you know what? We didn't just barely win the ball game. We won the ball game. Let's build off of this with excitement, and then let's go see what we can do against Ole Miss. I think that's the biggest thing right there. It will be a good non. It will be a good non conference win because those guys they projected to win the conference and they are projected to maybe somehow if they can win out or have a really solid year, they could get a nod for some type of high bowl game at the end of the year. So that's what's going on with them. Confidence booster and a tone. So it absolutely and I it sets the tone for the rest of the year as far as that. And I know it's Toledo, so please don't bite my head off. I get it. It's Toledo. It's not Ole Miss. People are still going to wait until see what we do against Ole Miss before they start making any assumptions about who we could be this year. I get all of that, but you take the momentum, the tone setter for the Kentucky Wildcats as a whole. You take that into playing Ole Miss, it's a lot better than walking into Ole Miss saying, well, we just beat Toledo by 3 points. So we are completely expecting to beat you guys too as well. It's a different mindset. And someone said earlier, it's psychological. I think for sure, just schedule, you just take I will take the win, Chris. I'm not doubting that, and I'm not downplaying who Toledo is. But I'm sorry, but our SEC teams beat Toledo by. You saw what they did in Mississippi State last year. They destroyed those guys last year. So if you only beat Toledo by 3 points, come on, man. Going into Ole Miss, what kind of confidence do you have playing Ole Miss that you was only able to beat Toledo by 3 points? It's just it's a mindset thing, bro. It's a mindset. All this is a mental game. It just is. And that's what you got to do, Mike. Do you agree? Our schedule is hard. Our schedules. I mean, bringing Texas and Oklahoma into our schedules. I mean, it was already hard as it is, but that's one of those things. Bringing those. Hey, Peanut, it's good to see you, bro. Um, bringing bringing those guys into the conference. Yes, it made it harder, but it was hard already, especially when we talk about Kentucky, who we don't often go over 500 in SEC play, and now you add these guys to the mix, it just makes it even worse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Texas is probably going to the playoffs this year again, so Oklahoma could probably be a sleeper. So it's definitely harder for everybody out there. I Everyone is giving UK to win against Toledo, Chris. I'm not doubting that. But inside that locker room, if you only capable of beating a MAC team, and no disrespect to the MAC, no disrespect to Toledo, but if you're an SEC team who wants to have a high quality year, you cannot just beat Toledo by 3 points. You get the win, and a win is a win. But we're talking sports is about confidence. It ain't about all the time just getting a win. It's about confidence. I mean, if you got to kick a field goal to win the ball game, you got 60,000 people screaming and hollering like, really? We only beat Toledo because we kicked the field goal to win the ball game? It's just it's a different mindset. But I get what you're saying, Chris. The early schedule is nasty. I mean, Kentucky schedule is hard, man. We needed a top four defense. Just to get 7-5 all those years. This year's defense is probably bottom four. How do you think that would turn out? Um, I mean, our defense is going to have to carry it. This is for Peanut. I mean, our defense is going, and that's the thing. If our offense can produce some, if our offense can produce some solid um, longevity drives, then it gives our defense a chance. And then if our um, we can kick a field goal and our defense is happy. You score a touchdown and then you bring the defense on the field. It's a totally different attitude then. It's not just that we just kick the field goal, so let's go back on the field. When you score a touchdown, it does something to the whole. It does something to the whole team. It just it there's a spark there versus just a field goal. And when you score a touchdown, those guys on defense, they're playing music in the stadium. The defense is up on their feet, bouncing around. It's just a little bit different than just doing it, than just kicking a field goal. And when you do that, everything about sports is all about the energy, the confidence, the mindset, and it's just a different story. I mean, basketball, for example, somebody hits a 3 pointer, somebody hits a two, people clap, right? Good job. He hits a three. He hits a two. But let somebody hit a 3 pointer. It's all kind of things that go with hitting the 3 pointer. It's just one more point more. It's just 1 point more. But the mentality of hitting the three versus a two, that does something to everybody. And that's the same way it is kicking a field goal versus scoring a touchdown. You score a touchdown, your defense is like, okay, we in here now. We in this. Our offense is out here cooking. Now let's go out here and cook too. It's just a different attitude, I think. We chatted about the situation with Stoops, that 34 million price tag due with 60 days. Um, is steep. How do you fans feel about being stuck with Stoops, even with a bad? We talked about that a little bit earlier, Chris, and we just got to bite the bullet, man. Either pay Stoops, which we don't. I don't think we have that money, or we just. And that's why I said Stoops is in a perfect opportunity right now, because if he has a bad season, well, I had a bad season, Mitch. Well, we got to fire you. No problem. Get my money. Or he sticks around for another year and see if we can get it together next year. Stoops is the winner here. No matter what the football season does this year, Stoops is the winner. We would definitely know how the season will go in the first game. And absolutely. And that's why if we could beat Toledo by 14 or 17 points, I feel like it just gives us more confidence going into the locker room and says we just beat a good non-power 5 team by 14, 17 points in the first opener. Let's go build off of this, and we have the confidence now to go get on the field with Ole Miss. Call me crazy, and I might have the dumb analogy, but that's just how I personally feel. We were stuck with Joker for 50 years. Sorry, not sorry. So, yeah, the line was 7.5. I think I'm picking cats by 14 and 17. So, Ordona, you're a smart guy for sure. I think I think the win range this year is 6 or 7. 6 or 7, at least we get back to a bowl game basketball. I'll be okay with that. Yeah, but we stuck with Stoops for right now, and they got to figure that out as well too. So, well, guys, I appreciate you guys jumping on. I did miss my co-host Jimmy and BC tonight. Those guys will be back with me Monday. Prayers out for Jimmy. He went to a funeral, so prayers out to him. Prayers out um, to Leah and her mom as well too. Hope her mom gets better as well. So we're running, man. We're back in full swing. We'll be going weekly. No weeks off. Might see different faces from what I'm saying, from show to show. You know, people got things going on or whatever. But overall, we're here all the way through recruiting basketball season. So we here. So Todd Golden said on field 78 he wasn't happy Denzel went to Kentucky. So, hey, let's see what Denzel can do in Kentucky too as well. My predicted win for UK this year: Toledo, East Michigan, Auburn, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Tennessee and Bandit. I've been down on the team all year, but I think the difference will be the chip they will have on. And you said Chip Stranum is actually going to be running the football for Toledo. He's probably going to be RB1 for him as well. So let's see how that all goes out too as well. If you guys can do me a favor when the show ends here in about just a minute or so, could you guys go type in the comment, go hit the like button and type in the comments, go Big Blue. If you're watching this right now, if you would do me that favor, as soon as the show is over, give it about 5 minutes if you can, and then just go back to the video and just push go Big Blue. That would mean a lot for me, and it's good for the channel too as well. Thank you guys once again. This has been the Loyal BBN Fans Show. I'm your boy Big Mike. Football season is back here. We excited. Come on, Cats. Go beat Toledo. Don't forget, pregame show on Saturday and postgame show to follow the football game. The Loyal BBN Fan Show is back in full strength, and this is what we're doing. Go Cats.